The Mental Strength Academy looks at dating in today's society after a major life-changing event. This explanation video delves deep into the psychological challenges of prolonged singlehood and the specific difficulties of dating in today's digital-first world, especially for those over 40, post-divorce, or as single parents. While solitude can be a powerful tool for self-discovery, prolonged social isolation and loneliness can have serious psychological and physical consequences. In today's society, where digital connections can sometimes replace meaningful in-person interactions, the risk of isolation is heightened. Increased risk of mental health disorders. Studies have consistently linked loneliness to a higher risk of depression, anxiety disorders, and even cognitive decline. A lack of social connection can lead to feelings of hopelessness, low self-esteem, and a sense of meaninglessness. As a Christian perspective might suggest, humans are created for community and connection, and a departure from this design can lead to spiritual and emotional distress, reduced resilience. Social support acts as a buffer against stress. Without a strong network of friends or a romantic partner, individuals may have fewer resources to cope with life's challenges, making them more vulnerable to stress and emotional dysregulation. Difficulty forming new connections. Prolonged isolation can create a vicious cycle. People who have been alone for a long time may lose confidence in their social skills or develop a fear of rejection, making it even harder to re-engage with others. Emotional numbness and detachment. In an attempt to protect themselves from the pain of loneliness, some individuals may become emotionally numb or detached. This emotional shutdown can prevent them from forming genuine connections even when opportunities arise. As Jordan Peterson often speaks about the importance of assuming responsibility and facing life's challenges, staying isolated is, in a sense, a failure to take on the fundamental responsibility of engaging with the world and with others. It's a retreat from the hero's journey of building a meaningful life, which almost always involves others. Today's dating landscape, dominated by apps and a culture of endless options, presents a unique set of psychological challenges that are particularly pronounced for those re-entering the scene. The paradox of choice dating apps present a seemingly endless stream of potential partners, which can lead to what psychologists call the paradox of choice. This abundance can create anxiety, FOMO, fear of missing out, and an inability to commit, as one is always left wondering if there might be a better option just to swipe away. This can make forming deep connections difficult. Emotional burnout and ghosting. The fast-paced nature of modern dating, with its frequent rejections and the common practice of ghosting, which is suddenly ceasing all communication, can lead to emotional burnout. Each rejection, especially when unexplained, can be a blow to self-esteem and lead to a sense of cynicism or hopelessness about finding a partner. The gamification of romance. Dating apps often turn the search for a partner into a game. The focus shifts to curating the perfect profile and getting the most matches, rather than on authentic connection. This, honestly, can lead to a devaluation of genuine intimacy and a more superficial approach to relationships. The struggle for authenticity, in a world of curated profiles and first date scripts, it can be really difficult to be genuinely vulnerable. For someone who has been through significant life events, the pressure to sell oneself can feel overwhelming and honestly pretty inauthentic. That makes it even harder to find someone who accepts them for who they truly are. These general challenges, they're amplified for those who are dating again after a major life transition. Dating again after 40 means reconciling past and present, and for those in this stage, the psychological effects of today's dating culture can be particularly jarring. Dealing with generational differences like navigating dating apps and social norms that might be totally new can create feelings of being out of the loop. It can be tough to reconcile one's own values and expectations with a culture that sometimes prioritizes instant gratification and casual encounters. The weight of experience, while life experience can bring wisdom, it can also bring baggage. Past heartbreaks, failed marriages, and personal insecurities can color every new interaction. This often shows up as an overly critical inner voice or a tendency to project past negative experiences onto new people. When it comes to self-acceptance and ageism, there can be pressure to look and act younger, and that leads to a real struggle with accepting oneself. The fear of being too old or unattractive can be, well, a significant psychological hurdle. Ultimately, it's a journey of accepting oneself fully with all the wisdom and wrinkles that life has provided. Dating again after divorce means, well, rebuilding from a deeper foundation. Divorce adds an extra layer of psychological complexity, you know? The emotional wounds are often still fresh, and honestly, the process of dating can feel like a direct challenge to the identity that was built within the marriage. Rebuilding a complete self is so important here. A divorced person may feel as though they're not whole on their own. Dating from this place of perceived incompleteness can lead to seeking a partner to fill a void, which, more often than not, results in unhealthy dynamics. The real psychological work, then, is to become a complete, independent person before seeking a partner. As Alan Watts might say, the search for a partner to complete you is based on the false premise of a divided self. The goal is to realize one's own wholeness first. Trust and fear of rejection. Yeah, the experience of a failed marriage can create a deep-seated fear of rejection and a struggle to trust others. The vulnerability required for dating can feel like an immense risk. The narrative of failure, well, society can sometimes cast divorce in a negative light, leading to feelings of shame or failure. Overcoming this internal and external narrative is crucial. It requires reframing the divorce not as a personal failure, but as a painful yet valuable life experience from which one can learn and grow. Dating as a single parent, the guilt and the gamble. For single parents, dating is not just about their own well-being, but also about the potential impact on their children. Balancing role conflict, single parents often feel a significant role conflict, the psychological stress of trying to be both a dedicated parent and a potential romantic partner. This can lead to intense guilt about taking time for oneself or introducing a new person into the children's lives. Protecting children versus meeting personal needs, there is a constant internal battle between protecting the children from the instability of a new relationship and meeting one's own need for companionship and intimacy. This can lead to dating with extreme caution, and sometimes not at all. The vetting process, the single parent's vetting process, is far more intense. They are not just looking for a partner for themselves, but someone who could potentially be a positive influence on their children. This added pressure can make the dating process feel less like a fun exploration and more like a high-stakes interview. As we reach the end of this journey, it's clear that re-entering the dating world after divorce, after 40, or as a single parent is not just a social challenge, it's a deeply psychological and philosophical transformation. Modern psychologists like Jordan Peterson remind us that meaning is found not in comfort but in the willingness to confront chaos and rebuild order in our lives. Dating after major life changes is a call to face our vulnerabilities, to integrate the lessons of the past and to courageously step forward into the unknown. Carl Jung spoke of individuation, the process of becoming whole by embracing both our strengths and our shadows. In the context of dating, this means accepting our imperfections, learning from our previous relationships, and allowing ourselves to grow into more authentic versions of who we are. Sigmund Freud, meanwhile, emphasized the importance of understanding our unconscious motivations. As we navigate new relationships, we are invited to reflect on the patterns and desires that shape our choices, and to seek self-awareness as a foundation for genuine connection. Philosophically, this journey is about more than finding a partner. It's about the pursuit of meaning, resilience, and self-discovery. Each step forward is an act of courage, a testament to our capacity for renewal and a commitment to seeking authentic connection in a world that often feels uncertain. Ultimately, the path after life's big changes is not just about love, but about becoming whole, embracing our story, honoring our growth, and daring to hope again.